You pick the side, I just hope you gon' stand on it.
Welcome back to the Standonitpod. I am one of the hosts, Khalil Chapman, here with my boy.
Delonte, you know what it is. Let's keep it going.
Yes, sir. Here to have real conversations about the NFL, NBA without the clickbait, without the gimmicks, and without the BS. I want to give a huge thank you to all our subscribers. Man, we had over 100 in a week, which is huge.
Yeah, we appreciate it, man. We've been trying to get this pod out. We appreciate everybody who done liked, comment, subscribe, who done sent our stuff out, who done reposted our stuff on Instagram or any other social media platforms. We appreciate the love, and it's only up from here.
Man, that's right. Keep dropping feedback in the chat, in the comments of YouTube, in the comments of IG. Let us know what y'all want to see, what y'all want us to talk about. And if you're new here, go ahead and hit that subscribe button. Starting off with the finals, man. Series tied 2-2, heading back to Oklahoma.
Yep.
Who has the advantage after Friday night's game?
Ooh, that was a good game, great game. Indiana was up, came back and let Shea do his thing, 15 points in the fourth quarter. But I honestly think I would go OKC. They back home, and if it goes 7 games, 2 out of the 3 games will be at OKC. So I think they have the advantage right now.
I would agree with you. I think they have the advantage. I think Indiana plays that like back against the wall basketball.
Yeah.
And this is like one of them real old school series where it's a lot of passes before a shot is getting put up, at least on the Indiana side. And they really playing team basketball and team defense. I think this next game is a must win. I don't think there's a chance they win this series or even kind of play a close series after this if they lose this game. Man, I think I give the edge. I mean, the competitive edge, I would give it to Indiana, but just the skills like that go get it when you need it in terms of getting a bucket late in the game, man. OKC really did it. I think their ability to get ISO buckets, to look for defenders, to get guys on mismatches late in the game was kind of the thing that had them win it. What do you think is pushing them over the top in these games?
Oh, I honestly think that was they could have folded and gave up last night. They were down double digits and then came back. And like I said, Shea scoring 15 in the fourth quarter, he proved why he was the MVP because I know the game before, game 3, he was tired. He was bringing the ball up and they was guarding him 94 feet. As you see in this game, they had Jalen Williams on the ball. And Shea wasn't bringing the ball up the court, so he had more energy for the fourth. Mm-hmm. This is why he scored 15 in the fourth quarter. So OKC did their thing, and they showed why they was the best team in the league, had the best record, and they didn't fold, and they got home court advantage now. Like I said, the next 2 out of 3 games will be in OKC if it goes 7. So shout out to them, and they didn't fold. A lot of people in those situations, they could have thrown in the towel, and
yeah,
they could have been down 3-1. Now it's tied 2-2.
Yeah, I think some of it is heart. Some of it though, like Indiana, you got a bunch of guys out there that play like a good collective brand of basketball. But Pascal was bricking. He was building houses out there. I mean, I don't know. That guy's all elbows to me. I love Pascal, great basketball player. But a lot of his scoring has to do with getting downhill, being in open space. And they were forcing him to be an ISO playmaker and to take the 15-footer, to take the contested 20-footer. And it just didn't look good. Tyrese had it going at moments in the game, but I think he's going to have to be more aggressive trying to get his buckets because they only have, 1, 2, maybe 3 guys who can go out there, you roll the ball out, and they get their own bucket.
Right.
When you look at OKC, I think Jalen Williams adds another level. They're running a 1-2 pick and roll with Shea and Jalen, and if you're a defender, we see Nembhard can maybe guard Shea a little bit, but he can't do nothing with Jalen Williams. He's just too big. And then I think Nesmith, I don't know what's going through his head when he's guarding Shea, but it just looks terrible. So if I'm OKC at the end of the game, I'm not scared of y'all. I think they fumbled a couple of the games in this series. Definitely the first game they should have won when they led wire to wire, except for the buzzer beater by Tyrese.
Right.
I'm like, you got to pound those mismatches. I think Chet does that early in the game and kind of build some momentum for them. But if you're the Pacers, you don't have that many guys that can call that ISO that you can hunt for. So it's gonna be a tough sledding for them. what does this series say for you about where we rank Tyrese Halliburton in terms of PGs and how we're looking at him as a natural PG, a distributor, a facilitator? When we think about kind of all the PGs in the league, where do we rank him?
Yeah, great points what you made on that on OKC. I still think Tyrese is a top 5 point guard. You know, he's been real like inconsistent as far as like he'd have a game where he dropped 20 plus, and then a game he'd have like 8 to 10 points.
Mm-hmm.
But he's a true point guard. Like I said, we talked before we even started shooting. You know that he's not a scoring point guard.
Right.
He's looking to pass first. A lot of point guards that's listed as point guards, they're trying to score first, then pass off, like a Trae Young or Luka, or you know what I mean. So I just think that Halliburton, he's just inconsistent a little bit, but he's been real clutch this whole series, like I said. But I just think he's still top 5. I would have Shea, Curry, Luka, then I'll put him 4, and then Jalen Brunson 5. So that would be my top 5 point guards.
Ooh. That's a good top 5. I think I would rank him high. I think we got to see a little bit more from him in terms of scoring throughout the course of the game.
Right.
Trying to control the flow of the game. He does a good job of facilitating the offense. But I mean, when they're like really needing a bucket, I think they rely too much on the momentum of the team.
Yeah.
I think they trust that the open play is going to be there, and in the finals, sometimes you just got to do what works. And so yeah, I would definitely rank him highly, top 10 in the league for sure. If he could crank out a 30-point game in this finals, man, I think that would be huge. That would say a lot for where he ranks.
You got him top 10 in the NBA?
And in terms of PGs.
Oh, okay. So you don't have him top
5? Let's see who we got.
Mine was Shea, Curry,
Yep.
Luka, him,
Brunson.
and Brunson. So you wouldn't have him in that 5? Who you have? Because a lot of people get listed at point guards and they're not really point guards.
I mean,
like Cade Cunningham, they got him as a point guard, but I don't really look at him as a point guard.
You just put Luka in your top 5 and Cade Cunningham isn't a point guard?
Yeah, because Luka has the ball all the time, man. He likes the flow.
Okay, so
like Kyrie, when him and Kyrie was playing, Kyrie is the 2.
Stand on it moment. My nigga's not watching the tape. You got to watch the Pistons play, dog.
No, he got the ball for sure, but I'm saying
he controls the whole pace.
But he had the ball, but he also was asked to do more because Jaden Ivey was out. So
I agree, but I think that team goes as he goes. Yeah. I think whether he's distributing, which his assist numbers were off the chart. He had multiple triple-doubles this year. He had hella double-doubles this year. I think his ability to facilitate that team's offense led to them winning games this year. Not only like 20 games. They won hella games, and they were absolutely trash
last year
in the past couple of seasons.
For
so
sure.
I wouldn't say like he's the best distributor we've seen or like a LeBron type, but he controls the game like LeBron, and I think his ability to know that and to kind of inspire that in his teammates, that'll allow him to go further into the playoffs. But as a young dude, that kid is ridiculous.
So you're saying he's top 5?
He's one where if we see some playoff success in the near future, people are gonna be like, oh my goodness, he's top 5 in the league regardless.
So you got him over Halliburton. Point guard.
Now this is where we make a distinction because Halliburton is a distributor. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
But if I'm building a team and say we're going 10, 15 years, right? Like give me one player, I'm gonna build around you. Mm-hmm. It in some cases may end up being a little bit of a toss up if we're looking at the tape from this year.
For sure. Cade Cunningham had a hell of a year this year. I'm not taking away from that. I just consider him like
he had an all-star. He had an all-star season. But if he has the ball in his hands, if he's bringing it up, if he's initiating all the pick and rolls, if he's got 11 assists, 9 assists a game, 8 assists a night, I'm like that's the guy who's dishing it.
Nah, for sure. I feel that. But when we was talking earlier, I had like Shea a point guard, right? But he's really a shooting guard. Yeah. Like he's really a shooting guard. Like he's not.
I would agree with that because I think he initiates most of the offense for himself.
Yeah, exactly.
Which is the job of a shooting guard to catch the ball and go get a bucket.
Yeah. But nah, I feel that. But shout out Cade Cunningham though too.
So a little bit of a sidetrack, some top 5 PGs in the NBA conversation. I think we'll see a very interesting Game 5. Game 4 was competitive wire to wire. I think if it comes down to it, man, in the last 2 minutes, this next game, I do trust Indiana. I think the defense, I think just the never say die attitude, man. Those guys got grit, and I think that'll pay dividends.
Yeah, for sure.
All right, bro. Let's talk off season. Buyers and sellers. Who are some buyers this off season?
I will go the Warriors. I will go the Timberwolves. And, shout out my team, the Lakers. We need to go buy a lot of people, right, ASAP. Because nobody is moving their feet on our team right now.
Who they looking for, what they need?
We need defenders. We need a big man. We need another bucket getter. I would love to snag Nas Reed. He's a free agent right now, so hopefully we can grab him.
Y'all like to spend money over there. I don't know if Nas Reed fixes any problems that y'all have. Y'all do shoot a lot already. I think Nas Reed may not help that much defensively or in terms of providing real rebounding numbers.
He's better than Vando.
But he'll provide some spark offensively, and I think some good energy that the team needs. Not that I love the Lakers, but I think the fit is there. I think they need another piece if they do that defensively, a swing 4 or a power 5, somebody like a Wendell Carter Jr., somebody who can sit inside and block shots and be physical and aggressive. Buyers, I'm going the Rockets. I think not that they overachieved this season, but they have a really young team.
Yeah.
While they're young, they're going to have to capitalize. While they're not paying these guys that much money, I think you go out, you get a couple of vets. There's some guys out there we'll talk about in a sec that they could shoot for. You can give up a couple of these young dudes and some draft picks and go get somebody serious. So I think the Rockets are real buyers in the offseason. You named it, the Warriors. They need to be buyers. I think you don't have a lot of time left with Steph.
Right.
And I think to compete, OKC has got a lot of weapons. You got Minnesota with weapons. You got teams who are
Houston.
Houston has got weapons and is going to try to get some more. You got some young teams. And so if you're the Warriors, you got to surround Jimmy and Steph with some young guys, some shooters, and some defenders that can actually ball. And not young guys that we may be kind of banking on to show some promise. Who are the sellers, brother?
Before I get to the sellers, I love the Warriors pick. If y'all could somehow, some way, grab another bucket getter and a big man, y'all be good. And like you said, the West is a bloodbath, and next year is going to be even crazier. So, yeah, for the sellers, I'm going to go with the Celtics. I know it sounds crazy because they were just in the finals last year, but Tatum's not going to be back for the next season at all towards Achilles. So... And I know that they said that they can't keep all their players because of the luxury tax. So
who gotta go?
I think most likely is gonna for sure be Drew Holiday and Porzingis.
Pingus.
Yeah, and I think maybe one more might go like Hauser or
Pingus gotta go,
or maybe Derek White or somebody. But I think they're gonna be sellers.
I think the Warriors should look at guys like Derek White. Boston would be idiots to let him go, but it might be too expensive. I think the Kristaps move works when it's right. The other 50 games of the season, it doesn't work. That guy, I think he'll give you limited availability.
His ass ain't never healthy though.
I don't know what landing spots are there for him that are real contenders. But if there are, I think it's a limited role, a team that may not need too much from him, so he can kind of maximize in a smaller vet role. I think Memphis may be sellers. They got some play. First of all, Memphis is not a great basketball
team. Shout
out Ja. I like Ja Morant a lot. But that's not a good basketball team. And when I think about the way that they're built, they have a lot of money and a couple of players. And I don't know what they're going to do with that. Jaren Jackson Jr. is a good basketball player. There are moments where he doesn't show up.
He's a little overrated to me.
Yeah, this is what I'm saying. There's moments where he doesn't show up and he's slated to make a lot of money with that team. Are you paying that man a super max or a max contract within the next year and a half?
Can I say this real quick? Jaren Jackson, if you're watching this pod, however you get this motherfucker out, bro, you is 7 feet and you averaging 4 to 5 rebounds a game. Come on, bro.
He like to sit out on the 3-point.
But listen to me. me and this guy right here, we used to play center in high school, and we was not grabbing just 5 rebounds a game. You was almost 7 feet, and you can't get no rebounds? What are you doing? And you do the same move. Like, come on, bro, get better.
I trust that he's working on it. If there's
Work on getting some rebounds.
Oh, man. Well, I was going to try to pitch Jaren Jackson Jr. to the Warriors. So I don't know if my co-host is helping those chances here. But I do think in terms of his defense, which I don't know how he won a Defensive Player of the Year, that is
by rebounding.
Absolutely beyond me. We will continue to talk about the ways in which Draymond is disrespected as a real defender in this league. But that's not the point. I think he needs to get a little bit tougher, grab more rebounds, and understand his role. At the moment, they're paying Ja Morant, they're paying Jaren Jackson, and they're paying Desmond Bane, and those are 3 players making a lot of money, two of which are slated to make significantly more money soon.
Yeah, he missed out on $100 million. If he would have won a Defensive Player of the Year, he would have got a Supermax like $340 million.
Ooh.
Yeah, so I bet you the Grizzlies is happy. Maybe if you got some rebounds, you would have got all NBA team.
Right. Yeah, no, I don't know if they're too happy with their future going forward. They have a lot to figure out. Where do KD and Giannis land this offseason? Man,
this year is gonna be crazy. Hopefully they both get moved. I know KD for sure is getting moved. For me, I would want Kevin Durant to go to the Timberwolves. The Timberwolves went to the Western Conference Finals the last 2 years. They need another person that can get buckets. KD could score on all 3 levels. Him and Ant-Man would be a nice duo.
Yeah.
I wouldn't want to give up Jaden McDaniels. I know that sounds crazy. I'm not saying Jaden McDaniels is better than Kevin Durant, but Jaden McDaniels is going to guard the best player. Y'all need defenders. Y'all can't have just KD and Ant-Man. That just be like Devin Booker and KD. You see they didn't have any defensive presence at all.
Yeah, you can't mortgage the future for KD.
If you could get rid of Gobert trash ass, then that's cool, but I would not get rid of Jaden McDaniels for Kevin Durant. But I would like to see him in Minnesota for sure.
So if we're doing this via trade, are you holding on to Julius Randle or no?
I would ship him.
You're getting rid of Julius Randle. You're getting rid of Gobert.
If they said they want Gobert or Julius Randle, I would give up Gobert. But if they want both of them, they could go get rid of them and just get like a cheap big or something.
Yeah.
Or like try to see if they can go get
cheap bigs. 1, those aren't easy to come by, and 2, they're not good. So
yeah, but I'm just saying like
this is what we mean by like you can't mortgage your future for a player like KD as much as he's a great player. He's not going to play 4 and 5 for your team and like provide interior defense at a serious level.
Yeah, but anybody better than Gobert. I think they have a better chance with an old lady than Gobert. So,
all right. Gobert, who put up 24 and 26
one game. Y'all seen what he did in the Western Conference Finals? Well, he didn't triple single.
He didn't put up 25 and 25 one time against the Warriors in the next series.
Or the Thunder. Everybody played good against the Lakers. Everybody Hakeem Olajuwon when they play the Lakers. It's just outrageous.
Well. Right on. We'll see where KD and Giannis land.
What about you?
I have no idea. I would hate for KD to land somewhere else in the West and make another team in the West better. The team that I think has the assets to go and get him is the Rockets. And that would not make me feel too good. But that team would be good. I think they get rid of Jalen Green. I think they get rid of either Tari Eason or Jabari. Who's my boy over there? Jabari Smith, yes, sir. Who I don't think he has a great basketball IQ just yet, but he's a really talented basketball player. Cam Whitmore was hurt in the playoffs this year, and so we didn't even really get to see what he's got. But that team has a lot of young kids, man. I mean, Giannis or KD, thinking about either of these cats, if we're trying to really make a push to go get them, you've got some things to offer.
Yeah, I would say for Giannis, I really don't like the Warriors. You don't know I don't like the Warriors, but I'm being real here. I think if he goes to the Warriors, that would be his best fit.
Right.
They need a bucket getter. Giannis and Steph. And that pick and roll would be crazy.
With Jimmy at the 3
Yeah.
and Draymond at the 4.
Yeah, there's a lot of space. There'll be so much space for Steph and for Giannis. Giannis, you get double teamed. There's so many people packing the paint. Steph will be getting a lot of
that team, that 3, 4, 5 has a lot of like come talk to me outside energy.
Yeah.
Like the Jimmy Butler, Draymond Green, Giannis.
You see what Giannis did to Halliburton Daddy.
I see you in the parking lot. So I'm looking forward to seeing what the Warriors may be able to pull off.
Yeah, for sure.
In free agency. That's a wrap this episode for talking about the NBA. On to the NFL, OTA updates. Who looks good, things you're paying attention to. I heard we got some things going on over in Cleveland. Talk to me.
Now, when we was on this last episode, this dude was trying to disrespect Shoutout.
I ain't disrespecting.
Now he trying to, perfect timing. See what happened? God working mysterious ways. I told y'all last episode that Shoutout had the best chance to start for the quarterback. Y'all seen him in OTAs. Y'all seen the stats. He been doing his thing, man. Give him a chance. He could be the week 1 starter, like I said. Nobody cares about Kenny Pickett. His hands are smaller than my son's. So, man. So Dylan Gabriel can't see over the line. Joe Flacco is almost ready to go in a retirement home. So forget him too. Give my boy Shoutout a chance, man. Let him start week 1. So, yeah, that's what I got to say. You was talking all that stuff. Yeah,
I'm not mad at it. I'm not mad at it. And I wasn't talking shit about Shoutout. I believe in Shoutout and know he's a great quarterback. One, I was giving him props on his ball placement, giving him props on his IQ, giving him props on his prep, giving him props on his ability to anticipate as a thrower. What I was comparing those qualities to were quarterbacks in the NFL that don't often get praised for everything, right? For maybe some physically limited things. It's not a knock on the player, dog. He's just not 6'5", 250. You know what I'm saying? He's not even 6'3", 230, 200. You know what I'm saying? So I think those things play a part when you're evaluating talent.
For sure.
How big is this guy? How durable is this guy? How athletic is this guy? I think the difference between Cam Ward, who, shout out the last episode, is not a lefty.
He's not a lefty.
that was a typo. But do want to talk about his arm slot. He throws from a crazy arm slot. He has different angles, different release points, and he's a wicked athlete.
For sure.
Shoutout is a great processor, and he's a great anticipator. A great athlete, I can't say that. He's a good athlete. He can move, but not a great athlete. Some of those things that take you over the top as a prospect are the things that make you, man, a more wow talent when you're looking at the film. And so he can toss it. I think his ability to complete passes in training camp, I saw a graphic. He was 8 for 9 for the day. Other quarterbacks were absolutely terrible. He had like 2 touchdowns, no interceptions. Flacco didn't throw that day, but the other 2 quarterbacks, Dylan Gabriel was awful. And our boy Kenny Pickett was like 4 for 12. So we'll see. I think that's QB1 over there in Cleveland.
No doubt.
I just think it's going to take some time to develop. That's not a bad thing. It's not a knock on Shoutout. But also, yeah, he has time. He's a rookie, right? Like they're supposed to take time.
This is growth, y'all. He was hating on Shoutout last episode. Look at him. I like this.
I wasn't hating. I think when you talk about what a first-round talent is, you're talking about somebody who physically is gifted.
Man, we ain't worried about he ain't supposed to be no bodybuilder.
I don't think he should have been a 5th-round talent.
Yeah.
I don't think they should have
Anthony
dogged
Richardson is struggling. He was a 5th pick in the draft or 4th pick in the draft.
But you proving my point. I'm not saying it's right. I'm not saying that's right.
But I ain't worried about looking athletic, baby. As long as he can throw the ball, he'll be all right.
Now, the comparison I made, which some of y'all thought was hate, was Brock Purdy. Ooh. But when we talk about having success in the National Football League and taking your team to a Super Bowl and being able to win games, and it doesn't look like you're running a 4.5, it doesn't look like you could throw it 90 yards down the field. We've seen that from a couple of quarterbacks, Baker Mayfield being another one. I said that when we was in the room the other time talking about the list of quarterbacks and some comparisons. I think Shoutout is a great quarterback, man. He's going to need time to develop. I think the Cleveland Browns should give him that time. Mm-hmm. And I don't know if Joe Flacco is a good OG to have. He'd be in press conferences talking about, I don't got to tell him nothing. So
he said that about Lamar.
Yeah, I know. We'll see how that goes. I don't believe he'll be sitting beyond week 4 or 5 at all.
If they were smart, they would let him start week 1. But just here and there.
Tay, talk to me about what's going on over there in Cincinnati, where they've got some things, always got some things on the defensive side of the ball that don't go well. What's going on this time?
I call them cheap Natty because they cheap. Like Mr. Krabs, Julius from Everybody Hates Chris, cheap, man. But, so Shamar Stewart got drafted first round, coming out of Texas A&M, DN. He's supposed to be the replacement, I guess, for Trey Hendrickson, who was holding out right now because he wants a new contract. But they can't even get the contract right for a rookie. And he's the only first-round pick that hasn't signed a contract yet.
So listen to this. The clause in his contract that they were trying to get him to sign actually had to do with him not being able to receive any of his money, any of his contract money, if he was cut.
Right.
Now, why, if you just drafted me, would there be a clause in my contract about not paying me if you cut me? Why would you be thinking about cutting me? That's like telling me you're going to cut me and I should probably have some protection. So I'm not going to sign that. Like, I wouldn't feel good about signing that myself.
Right.
So I think they're trying to paint Shamar as like this guy who's causing problems for the Bengals on ESPN. If you watch that, pay attention to how they talk about it. Pay attention to the way they talk about Shamar as an athlete and as a person. But that clause doesn't make any sense. There aren't any other rookies in Bengals history who've signed anything like that, especially
they
a
were trying to make him the first
draft
one.
pick.
They were trying to make him the first one.
A first-round draft pick, which doesn't make sense. There should be no reason we're having clauses about you getting cut if we're making a first-round draft choice on you. For him, there was a bunch of red flags there. What about our guy Trey Hendrickson, leading the league in sacks last year? Really, pretty much their best defensive player in the last 15 years. Why won't they re-sign him? Do they not think it's worth it? That defense has been garbage. I mean, I think they need all the pieces they can get. What's up with that?
I think, like I said, they're just being cheap. They prioritize more on the offensive end. You know, they paid T. Higgins, they paid Jamar Chase, they paid Joe Burrow. They're focused on offense, but defense wins you championships. You gotta have a good defense. You don't even have to have the 2000 Ravens defense. You gotta have a good defense, though. Yeah. Like, you going against Lamar Jackson, Patrick Mahomes, Josh Allen, C.J. Stroud, Justin Herbert, just to name a few. Yep. You got to have a good defense. And
some real boys.
To negate a good offense is a pass rush, which is why Trey Hendrickson having 17.5 sacks last year and the year before, which is 35 in the last 2 years. Why would you not pay that? Like, you see Myles Garrett got paid. T.J. Watt is on the holdout right now because he hasn't got paid, but Max Crosby just got paid. You gotta pay. That's the second most important position in the NFL. After quarterback, in my opinion, is the rusher, because a rusher affects everything. Right. When you get in that pocket, the quarterback gets happy feet and they start hearing stuff. And when you could get somebody to rush the quarterback and get sacks, like, that's a lot of sacks, 17.5.
I mean, it's the second part of the coverage, right? Like, the first part of coverage is the DBs and the cornerbacks, the safeties doing their job. The second part of the coverage is the line getting home, right? If somebody's open down there, but we get to the quarterback, then we covered your ass, right?
Right,
so
for sure.
The linemen, I think there's the most value. I mean, I agree with you. I think outside of quarterbacks, outside of some position players, I think linemen who rush the quarterback, man, they need to be valued. I think good linemen are hard to come by. Good D linemen are hard to come by.
For sure.
And Trey Hendrickson is getting up there in age. I think he's just a couple days away from T.J. Watt. We see how they treat T.J. Watt over there in Pittsburgh, and so that's kind of what I'm saying. Like,
and he's their best player.
And the difference, right? And there's an argument to Trey Hendrickson just being one of the best players on the Bengals team, and it's like they don't treat him like one.
Yeah,
right?
He's one of the best rushers in the league.
I don't get that. I think that just speaks to how they think about defense over there. It's why their defense sucks. I'm like, if you're not going to pay the best defensive player you've seen in the last, that's like the Rams lowballing Aaron Donald, and he's holding out, and they're like, dude, we are not paying you that.
For sure.
That is crazy. That is crazy. Wouldn't fathom it.
This is why I said Joe Burrow's tier 1, but we're going to get in that later or whatever.
Oh, we can. Hey, we could.
They've been cooking my boy, man.
We can stand on this right now.
They've been cooking him.
I want to provide some clarity.
There we go.
I think.
Talk to him.
Tier 1 is a thing because those are guys who like go and save you a season.
Right.
Like Joe Burrow is good enough to go get you to the Super Bowl.
So he tier
A
one.
la Phillip Rivers.
No,
get you somewhere.
No,
Phillip Rivers ain't win nothing. I'm not saying Phillip Rivers ever saw a Super Bowl or Super Bowl. But here's what I'm saying, right? Like there are quarterbacks with good teams that we will see like really kill it, right? And there are some who've had maybe one or two good teams in their lifetime, right? And what I mean is like a Antonio Gates, LaDainian Tomlinson, Phillip Rivers led Chargers was a really good team,
right? For sure,
right? Those other years we saw him throw thousands of yards and hundreds of touchdowns, and they never went anywhere beyond maybe the first round of the playoffs.
Yeah,
right. This is not a knock on him, and it's not a knock on Joe Burrow. What I'm saying about the tier one guys, in that era, the Peyton Manning, the Tom Brady, the Drew Brees, the Aaron Rodgers, is their ability to get past the first round of the playoffs, their ability to get into the playoffs, sometimes was despite a bad defense. Sometimes was despite players who shot themselves in the foot, players who were arrested in the middle of the season, players who, all the things, right?
Right. For sure.
I think if you're a good quarterback, if you have a bad defense, yeah, the team is gonna be mid, right? Like the Brock Purdy thing this year, our team was awful, right? We had injuries all over the place. The defense sucked. He was a mid quarterback. That's what happens to good quarterbacks, right? The thing about Joe Burrow, man, great quarterback. You give him good conditions, pretty good defense, he'll make the playoffs. You don't, he won't. What about Lamar though?
What you mean?
Making the playoffs regardless of the conditions.
Yeah, but you're not gonna get no disrespect from Lamar from me.
No, but my point is there's a difference between tier one guys.
But I think listen,
he's a really good thrower of the football. He is phenomenal. Top 5 for sure.
This is why I got him tier 1. I'm gonna speak on it real quick.
Tier 1's like 3 guys.
I have him tier 1 because even though I have Lamar number 2 and Josh 3, he did something that both of them have never did.
Which is get to a Super Bowl. Which I hear.
And he's been to an AFC Championship game.
And their defense was good. I think the last 2 years that they haven't been to the Super Bowl, part of my point is they've lost games that, in my humble opinion, I think Lamar would not have lost. They had a game against the Eagles last season. It was a high-scoring game. I get it. The defense gave up hella points.
Right.
But that game ended because you turned the ball over.
Yeah, for sure. I'm not saying Joe Burrow.
He had another game against your Ravens, high scoring game.
I'm a Raiders.
Right, we're throwing in a.
I'm a Raiders fan.
I'm just saying.
I'm just making sure.
We're throwing in the triple coverage. We're fumbling the ball, and this is not it's not a knock on Joe.
Nah, for sure. But
if you are a save my season, a superhero quarterback, you win the games that feel unwinnable, and that seems like a really. A mean critique on somebody, but if I just watched 2 seasons where you lost some winnable games, where you played bad teams and didn't score 35 points, I get it. Your defense is bad, but you shouldn't be scoring 13 or 20 on a team who's below 500 or a team who's not making the playoffs, right? You should blow that team out.
I agree.
So that's what I'm saying. We see that from Mahomes sometimes, right? We see that like the up and down regular season performance, but in the playoffs, it's a whole different story.
For sure.
Right.
Nah, they've been having slow starts every year. They always get off to a slow start, and that's the reason why they missed the playoffs by a game or two because they have slow starts. Like their first game, they lost to the Patriots.
And he gets hurt.
Yeah.
There are injuries, and I'm not going to slide him for that either. My point is when I watch Lamar, when I watch Pat, and sometimes when I watch Josh, because Josh can do some stupid shit as well, I see them doing superhuman things. I see them making throws that I'm like, how in the hell? Even in the Super Bowl, Mahomes lost. He threw the ball.
Man, they was getting their ass
parallel
beat.
to the ground.
They was getting their
I don't
ass
care.
beat.
This is what I'm telling you.
This is what I'm
telling you. Tier 1 is like superhero players. Joe Burrow is a great quarterback. But he's not a superhero player. Like the tier 1 belongs to the guys who do what nobody else can do. That's a fair critique, in my opinion, given we watch Lamar do shit nobody can do. We watch Josh do shit nobody can do. And Patrick does the same thing. I don't think I've seen Joe Burrow do something nobody can do, nor have I seen him like superhero his team to victories. That belongs to tier 1 quarterback.
That's swag, though.
It's no disrespect to him. He could be top 5 if he's number 4 or 5. I just don't think he belongs in the conversation of the elite, like the I'm putting all my money on that guy. That's Lamar. That's Patrick.
Dude, he got swag though. Is what I want to
Dude, he got swag though. He's got a couple clips he's got a couple clips that like his PR team is just killing, you know. But he's a great quarterback. Like my other point is like, bro, I would start a team with him. I would bank on him to be a top 3 quarterback every season in terms of numbers, productions, and yards. I'm just saying in tight games, what I've watched over the last 2 seasons has led to some losses where I haven't seen Patrick lose those games. I didn't watch Josh lose those games, right? I watched him lose those games though.
So that means you see y'all hear it here first.
And go back and watch the tape. Watch the tape of this past season.
Y'all heard what he said.
Played.
He's standing on what he's saying, man.
Watch the losses on offense.
He said if you got a problem, that y'all can meet him at the poetry slam. We do poetry up there. He got you.
I do not do poetry.
He lying. Give me some snaps.
All good. Want to give a shout out to the viewers who watched the first episode. If you've been rocking with us since day 1, which was just a couple days ago, shout out to you. We got a couple fan questions we want to tap in with that are related to OTAs. Shout out to our guy, it's Jordy.
Jordy, my boy.
Jordy asked, what do you think about Pickens on the Cowboys?
I like the pickup. As long as he could do his thing and stay out of like off-field issues, and I'm saying when I say off-field, I'm really like the distractions off the field.
My boy in Dallas.
Yeah, getting the ball. They need a second receiver, man. Like when they had Amari Cooper and CeeDee Lamb, they were doing great things. That offense was the number 1 offense in the league. You get George Pickens, if he could just give you around 800 to 1,000 yards and a couple touchdowns, that'd be a good pickup for them. So I like the pickup. And also, I seen you had a question about Dak over Purdy. I'll let you start off first, Mr. Purdy guy.
I mean, before we get to that, and I don't want to be the resident Purdy guy. I will be fair on my critique of Purdy. We could do the ranking for sure. He ain't ranked super high.
He got Brock Purdy number 5, y'all.
No, you ridiculous. You're ridiculous. Nah, I got Pickens. The Pickens conversation is a good one. Pickens is a good receiver. I love his energy. He's all football. To me, that's what football is about. I think the age of the diva wide receiver should die.
But it was bad, bro.
No. I get it. It was bad, and the whole situation in Pittsburgh was bad. But I think the diva wide receiver situation should die. Like this guy comes out and wants to like tear the head off of every cornerback. He wants to just straight up go toes with you. I like that. I want to see that every Sunday. So I don't know who has a problem with this guy. I know the Steelers didn't like it. That may not be their brand of football, but he wants to give you hands, and I'm here for it. And I hate the Cowboys, but I feel like this gives them a little bit of a little bit of swag, so to speak.
Yeah, him and CD for sure.
Also, Dak throws hella interceptions, and I think Pickens' catch radius and his ability to just wrestle the ball down, that'll definitely do well for Dak.
I don't agree.
You said what?
I don't agree.
About what?
About Dak.
About what I say about Dak that you don't
No,
agree
I
with?
said it's gonna take a little bit of time for him to adjust to playing with Pickens because Pickens is not like CD. CD is a great route runner. He's in and out of his breaks. Like you said, catch radius. George Pickens, he reminds me of like a Brandon Marshall, Dez Bryant. That's a player that Dak played with, and him and Dez Bryant was not on the same page because Dak is not that type of quarterback. Like he throws the ball, like if he sees a nice window, he's throwing it. He's not like a very good at anticipating throwing the ball. So that's why him and Dez Bryant were clicking, not on the same page. So we got to see because George Pickens is a 50-50 guy, like you said. He's not like a route runner. So
Yeah.
I just want to see that real quick.
I'm not gonna call a guy who gets paid to play wide receiver in the NFL not a route runner. I do hear you. Where that's
you know what
not,
I mean, though.
That's
You know
not
what I
like
mean. That's not his
Plan
specialty.
A.
That's
Plan
not
A.
his specialty.
Plan A is I'm gonna run down this field
Yeah.
and tear somebody's face off. That's
For
Plan
sure,
A.
for sure.
I'm with you. I think Pickens will be a good pickup in the long run. It may take them some time.
To jail, for sure.
He'll be another security blanket for him over there in Dallas, and they haven't had that many offensive issues. Knowing CD, who is top 5 in the league,
For sure.
is over there. Dak over Purdy. Good question, Jordy. I know you are a Cowboys fan, so I ain't gonna do too much hating. I think the only thing about Dak is kind of his performance in the playoffs and the interceptions. this past season, Brock Purdy not helping me out at all, not playing that well. We had a bunch of injuries. We had guys go down. Our number one receiver was Juwan Jennings, but somehow found a way to produce. If we're going whole body of work, kind of career, I'm going to go Purdy. If we're going right now, I'm going to go Purdy. And only because, I've seen these guys play in the playoffs. I think I've seen Dak over the years, and I don't see a lot of development, which, he's got all the tools to be a great quarterback. He could throw it. He's a great leader of the offense, but...
You said career, bro?
I think year after year. What?
The career? Brock Purdy only been in the NFL like 2-3 years.
And has won more games than Dak, or has won more playoff games than Dak in his whole career.
They still got the same amount of rings.
So, So you're gonna take Dak's career over Purdy's career?
Yeah.
Why?
Because he done been to Pro Bowls, he done got an All-Pro. No, he didn't got an All-Pro, but he done been to Pro Bowls and all types of stuff. Brock Purdy only had one good year. What are we talking about?
2 good years.
Yeah, but his elbow couldn't hold up, so that don't count.
That don't count. Actually, it does count. You don't get to discredit.
Because what happened? So what happened after that? What happened
after he could not play?
And then y'all was in the Super Bowl. What happened after that? Y'all couldn't go to the playoffs after y'all players was gone, right? Right?
When he got hurt.
No, I'm not talking about that. I'm talking about this year. What happened?
When everybody else on our team got hurt.
Yeah, he couldn't lift up because why?
Because we didn't have no number ones. We was playing with number 2s and 3s. You know this. Don't.
Brock Purdy
don't
ain't all that. Forget what he talking about.
Now here's my thing.
Brock Purdy paying him under the table,
Here's
y'all.
my thing.
I'm telling y'all.
This actually
I seen the checks.
I wasn't actually hating. I think Dak has had a great career. I think if Dak is pushed further in the playoffs, it would be a much harder conversation. The reason I'm talking about this is because Dak has played with great players. Do not sit up here and talk about Dak like he hasn't played with great running backs, especially when they were in their prime, and great receivers, and an absolutely great offensive line.
I digress.
We can't. So when we talk about Purdy, and this is my only thing, is we always talk about like, oh, what does he look like when nobody's there? What does anybody look like when nobody's there?
Lamar looks good with nobody there.
Elite. That is tier 1, right? Yeah. Does Joe Burrow look like that when nobody's there? No, exactly. Exactly.
He's still talking about
No. I just had to bring that back. Dak over Purdy, man, I think is an interesting take. I'm not mad at it. Dak can throw the ball. Like if I'm watching a football game and he throws 320 yards, 3 touchdowns, he's going to have an interception in there or 2, but he can toss it. I'm not mad at somebody saying he's a better talent at quarterback than Brock Purdy. From what I'm watching and the results that they get from that, I'm going with Brock.
You're going with Brock? Okay.
But I'm not saying, oh, Dak is like completely less talented. Like we're talking about, oh, Tua versus Aaron Rodgers or something. It's not that type of comparison. And
I think they're in the same tier, though.
I do think they're in the same tier as well.
Sure.
I think some of the success is team success for Brock, but I also think you got to be the quarterback to get there. I was at the game when he played Green Bay in the playoffs, and I watched the whole Detroit game. It ain't too many quarterbacks in the league who have done that.
No, Detroit game, he shit the bed and brought it back, though. I'll give him that for sure.
Shit the bed and brought it back. Yeah. That brought it back, though, was nuts. I'm telling you, I ain't seen nothing like that. So those performances are the only reason why you don't discredit that. They lost the Super Bowl that year. Yes. Show me bad Super Bowl tape from Brock. Show me bad Super Bowl tape.
Not bad. He could have did better, though.
Right? And I agree, but show me bad Super Bowl tape.
Nah.
Right? And so that's where
I will say, brother, we're going to get you a Brock Purdy jersey. We gotta get him to wear it on the podcast.
No. There's a number of people, and I do feel like now I'm the resident Brock Purdy guy.
Yes.
There's a number of people that I would put above Brock Purdy that are still in that kind of middle range. A lot of them are young guys.
Okay.
But Dak isn't a young guy, and that's the point. The point of this is Dak's not a young guy, and Purdy is, and we forget that Purdy's in his 3rd, 4th year in the league. We're comparing him to people who've been in the league for 7 years, 8 seasons. This guy was in when Romo was getting hurt.
Yeah.
I was in middle school, dog.
Yeah, for sure.
So I'm like, I hear it, but Dak has the Dak isn't developing piece is really about turnovers, defense recognition, and how he plays in the playoffs. And that's not about how I feel. That's just about the results that you get from the game. So I get it. It may feel like I'm hating or I'm loving Brock, but really the idea is that, man, if we see some better results from Dak in terms of getting wins late in the season when they matter and like leading the team in doing that. Mm-hmm. I always see videos of him coming back or trying to get his team to come back. There's a bunch of videos on the NFL mic'd up to him being like, "Come on, guys, it's not over." He always talks about it's not over.
Empty calorie stats.
This shit is over, brother. It is over. And I don't mean that in a bad way. It's just like if you're always trying to motivate your guys to come back down 30. Hey,
y'all would think Brock Purdy was light skinned the way he defend his boy.
My goodness.
Light skinned
Oh my
Brock
goodness.
Purdy.
You a Cowboy fan now?
Oh no. I ain't fucking with no Cowboys.
All right, we'll shift to your team in the next question. Shout out to Nick_C4Y6X.
He was bullshitting when he made that YouTube name. Shout out Nick. He had a hell of letters and shit, but shout out Nick.
Nick goes, what's the record? What's the Raiders' record next season?
Ooh. I think we go 9-8, 10-7, hopefully.
I'm about to audit this response. Explain.
I like Genty pickup, as we talked about last episode. I like Brock Bowers, like Jacoby Myers. Our defense is still mid or whatever. We got Crosby, but we don't got no corners like that. But I think we could go 9-8, 10-7, hopefully. It really depends on Geno. I'm not really sold on Geno like that, but we gonna see.
So I think the thing about Geno, watching him in Seattle for a couple of seasons, is he will buy you 6 wins. Like there are 6 wins on the schedule that he will buy you as a quarterback.
We're in a tough division though. We got Pat, Justin Herbert, and Bo Nix.
But you guys are in the AFC, and the AFC just has some clinically bad. They have some clinically bad teams, and y'all play a couple of them. So let's name those teams.
Okay.
All right. So we're going Week 1 Patriots. I don't know how good the Patriots will be.
Ooh, I got a prediction for the Patriots, but I'm going to say
I don't know how good they'll be. Their secondary, they have a good player in their secondary.
Their secondary is good, though.
Shoot.
Carlton
but y'all have a guy who could throw the pill now. And I need you to hear me. He's not the best. He's not the best.
Right,
y'all not about to go 14 and 3.
But he's not he's not even top 7 in the conference, though.
Geno can toss it, though. So I don't see, unless it's the top 5 defense, I don't see defenses really like shutting Geno down in terms of him being able to.
But what about the quarterbacks we gotta play?
Now, Drake May.
He's cool. He's up and coming.
So we're saying that's a win versus the Patriots.
Yeah, I'll take that as a win.
You guys go and see Justin Herbert. This is the first of a divisional matchup.
That's a home game for us, so I'll take the dub.
I like you guys at home against the Chargers.
It's a home game. Y'all know that.
I like you guys at home against the Chargers. Although.
It's a home game.
If y'all lose, I'm on your head. All right, so we're going 2-0 so far. You guys are losing to the Commanders. That's 2-1.
Okay.
The Bears.
It's at Oakland. It's not at Oakland.
That doesn't exist anymore, brother.
We still the Oakland Raiders at heart. But anyway, I think we'll pull that out. So we'll go 3-1.
You guys will beat the Colts.
That's 4-1.
They suck. Tennessee.
Well, we might start off 5-1.
Okay, 5-1. You guys are losing to the Chiefs. 5-2. You have a bye. Off the bye, you have Jacksonville.
6-2, baby.
Wow. Okay, Denver.
I think we lose that one.
6-3. There we go. Reality. Dallas. 6-4. There we go. Cleveland.
We beating Cleveland.
7-4. You're beating Shador.
Yeah.
You're gonna beat Shador.
Yeah.
Shador's gonna lose.
Love you, Shador, but I'm a Raider fan at heart, baby.
All right, this is week 12. So Shador has about 15 weeks of football under his belt. Okay, what's your record in week 12?
We'll win that.
You're 6-4, 7-4?
It was 7-4.
7-4, yeah, we're at 11. The Chargers in LA.
I think we split with the Chargers. Oh, I thought
7-5. I gave you the first one.
Yeah, the second game is at
7-5.
it's Oakland. Fuck what they talking about.
7-5. Denver, week 14.
We get them.
8-5. Philly,
Eagles,
8-6.
Yeah.
Houston,
I think
8-7.
The Giants,
9-7.
Then we beat the Chiefs because they probably gonna
9
be resting.
8.
No, they gonna be resting week 18. They probably gonna have the number 1 seed like always. Nah, we going 10-7. You feel me?
I'm gonna say something.
10-7.
I'm gonna say something and I'm gonna stand on it. The Raiders have the best fans in the world.
Yeah, y'all got fake fans. That's right.
Yes.
Y'all do.
Yes. I think we are fake because there is not a moment where we will believe something that is just so.
Y'all believe in fucking Brock Purdy. What are we talking about?
I'm his
biggest fan. What are you talking about? Y'all don't believe his stuff.
I don't think I've been his biggest fan on this podcast.
Who's been his biggest fan?
I think there have been a couple of moments.
Not me.
I think that no, I'm not saying that. I'm saying there have been a couple of moments on this pod where I've had to compare him. So your team is going 9-7,
9-8. No, I said 10-7. You said 9-8.
Your team is
He said, "What's your prediction?"
Your
so
team
you can
is
have
gonna get
9-8.
10
I have 10-7. Yeah.
Okay.
Mr.
All right. Brock Purdy, man. No,
That's your boy.
I like the Niners, but Brock Purdy, respectfully, I'll continue to be fair on.
I told y'all he think Brock Purdy is light skinned, bro. It's like he got too much love for Brock Purdy. That man is white, man. He's not light skinned,
man.
bro.
You are ridiculous. You are absolutely ridiculous.
This guy, man.
The Raiders, a 10-win Raiders season, and I will buy you whatever meal you'd like.
I don't want no meal. I want some money. How about that?
How much we putting on that? A 10-win Raiders season?
Yeah, we
You don't want no food. You want some money? God damn.
$50.
$50. That's all. That's all you believe.
$100.
I can't wait to have $100 new dollars. You got to stand on that. $100. 10 wins for the Raiders. Over under. We going over under 9.5.
Okay, that's cool. That's still
Jeez
you gotta
Louise.
get.
All right. I don't believe in it, but he does. I'll give you a more realistic over under for the Niners, but that'll come at a later date.
What's better about Brock Purdy? How about that next episode? Since you want to bet.
What's the Brock? All right, now we're doing a wager. What's the Brock Purdy bet?
We find something, Mr. Brock Purdy guy. What you want to do? MVP? You ain't standing on that, right?
No, I'm not Mr. Brock Purdy.
So how many games you got the Niners winning?
My over under for them would be 9.
Nah. See, I'm gonna be real. I think y'all could win double-digit games, like 11 or 12.
I just told you I was being fair and realistic.
Cause y'all got a 4-play schedule, so that's all I'm saying. That.
Yeah, we got a 4-play schedule.
So
I'm not saying we're gonna be 14-3. You know what I'm saying?
He just don't want to say Brock Purdy MVP. He trying to be modest.
No. Brock Purdy is a solid quarterback. I'm not gonna sit here and call him the best in the league. It's not happening.
Nah, never.
It's not happening.
Never.
All good. On this day in NBA history, the Chicago Bulls won their 6th NBA championship. Michael Jordan, last day on the Bulls, last game with the Bulls ever. An 87-86 win over the Utah Jazz.
6 rings, baby.
The biggest, or one of the biggest legacies in sports history, but definitely the biggest when we talk about the GOATs of the NBA. You always hear about the 2 3-peats from Michael Jordan.
Shout out MJ.
Our songs of the day. Tell you what's your song of the day.
Wawa Bands, Picture Me Rolling. Y'all go stream that on all platforms. Shout out Cuzzo.
Mine is a song called Rock by Bossy, featuring my brother Maury. We want to give a huge shout out to Kingmakers of Oakland for the space.
Shout out Cam, baby.
Yes, sir.
Cam doing his thing behind the scenes. I appreciate you, bro. Oh, damn, we should have said Happy Father's Day, too.
We could do a little.
We didn't even do that. Happy Father's Day, man.
Happy Father's Day to my guy Tay, man. A great father, a good man.
I appreciate that.
And super blessed to call you a friend, man. Proud of you, brother.
I appreciate it. Happy Father's Day. Happy Father's Day to my dad. I know you ain't here in physical, but in spirit. I love you, Pops. Long live my Pops. And
yes,
happy
sir.
Father's Day to your dad. And happy Father's Day to all my brothers and all my friends and stuff that's dads. Keep doing your thing, man.
Yes, sir. Baba C, the pioneer.
Yeah, shout out to your Pops, man. That's my dog right there.
For sure. And Mr. Bellamy, man, you already know what's up. We do this in honor of.
Just want to get a quick shout out to the clothing brands we rocking today. Shout out my Uncle Richard, with his clothing brand called Filthy Rich. We put it on there. You guys can tap in with that. We appreciate that.
Yes, sir. And shout out to my boy Fire, the Be Well brother. You can find his socials tagged here. Appreciate y'all. Always got to do our apparel shout out. If you want to see your item of clothing worn or anything promoted on our podcast, tap in and subscribe to our podcast.
The only way.
And we would definitely rock with y'all.
If you subscribe, we'll put on your stuff. But if y'all don't subscribe, we're not doing it. I'm sorry. And happy Juneteenth, because we probably won't be on when the next episode is.
All right, y'all. It's a wrap.
You pick the side, I just hope you gon' stand on it.